shut the hell up. I got 3 recipients. Let's get right to it. Now, we're going to start with one Mr. Joseph Judge. What Joe Judge, coach of the New York Giants. Now, if y'all notice in the background, I got my shut up music ready for you for season number 2. So, yeah, stanza stuff. So, Joe Judge, he goes on this rant last week trying to rail on the Philadelphia Eagles. He went on this rant about the Philadelphia Eagles because they had beat the Dallas Cowboys earlier in the regular season finale. And if the Eagles would have beat the Redskins, the Giants would have went to the playoffs. Well, we all know the Eagles pulled their quarterback late in the game, wound up losing the game, and Joe Judge went on this long rant about how much his players had sacrificed during COVID and that he would never not put his team in a position to win. Joe Judge, shut the hell up. What the hell are you talking about? You're being disingenuous, first of all. And second of all, your team had 6 wins. You don't get a chance to tell somebody else how to let you in the back door of the playoffs if you didn't have but 6 wins. Now keep in mind, about 5 weeks ago, they upset the Seattle Seahawks, the Giants did, and then they turned around and lost 3 of the last 4 games. You should have won one of those games. You wouldn't have to be worried about what Doug Peterson and the Eagles are doing. They are a division rival of yours. They don't owe you nothing. If you want to make the playoffs, make the playoffs. Win a game or 2. Win more than 6. Washington made the playoffs with 7 wins. I don't want to hear your mouth, Joe Judge. Shut the hell up. Sticking in the NFC East, Jerry Jones. Oh, this hurts me to say this because y'all know how much I love me some Jera. But Jerry Jones, you said something that was so blasphemous the other day that you qualify for this award times 2. On his weekly radio show earlier this week, talking about the Cowboys and their failures this year, you know what silver lining Mr. Jones pulled out of his hat? Y'all ready for this? He actually had the audacity. I'm going to call it audacity. He had the audacity to pull this silver lining out of his hat for this year. He says he wanted to commend the Cowboys and himself because they broke the record for attendance during a pandemic. I'm going to say that again. He said his Cowboys and himself should be commended because they broke the record for attendance during a pandemic. You mean the pandemic right here in Tarrant County where COVID numbers have been going up every month since August? Like, you don't get no prize for packing a stadium full of people during a pandemic. You were probably a super spreader in there. Out here killing people, putting people in the hospital. You want some kind of trophy because you allow people into your stadium against the wishes of many politicians around here? Yes, Billy Ball. She says, win some games. Don't depend on others to lose. But Jerry, let's not do this. One last time. He says his team should be commended for breaking the attendance record during a pandemic. You're not Walgreens. You're not Walmart. You're not a drive-through testing center. You're a football owner of a team that stunk this year. You're not essential, Jerry. You don't get no pat on the back. Shut the hell up, Jerry. And last but certainly not least, Mr. J.J. Watt. Yes, you, J.J. I'm going to need you to shut the hell up. And here's why. 2 weeks ago, I sat on TV. I sat looking at my TV, and I saw him go before all those reporters and dog his teammates. Was telling them that y'all ain't practicing hard enough. Y'all don't want to show up for work. You're coming in late. You don't care. We want to do this for the fans. It ain't fair for the fans. It ain't fair for the fans. Basically saying, it's them, y'all, not me. That's basically what that was. It was an infomercial on how hard he's working, and the rest of the team ain't working that hard amidst a 4-game losing streak. Well, last week, following that tirade, the Tennessee Titans put up 41 points and almost 500 yards of total offense. And I'm telling you why, Cindy. Now, JJ, again, you called out your team for a lack of effort and a lack of trying, but you're the leader. You're the potential Hall of Famer. Where were you when the Titans was scoring 41 points and Derrick Henry was rushing for 250 yards? You were on the field. Let's pull the receipts. Ryan Tannehill dropped back 27 times in that game last week. You know how many sacks J.J. Watt had? 0. Derrick Henry had 38 rushing attempts. 38 for over 250 yards. You know how many tackles J.J. Watt had in that game? 2. You were a non-factor. Now, somebody on your team should have called you out for that. You're supposed to be the team leader. Leaders lead by example. You had 2 tackles and no sacks with all of those opportunities while Tennessee was running and throwing the ball all up and down the field. J.J. Watt, before you call out anybody else, I'm going to need you to shut the hell up and get your game right. Marcus is walking the show off with this. Jerry Jones is too busy calling it a panoramic view instead of an actual that is very true. That is very, very true. And with that being said, that's all your boy got, man. The season premiere, man, that flew by. So good to be back with you. I will be back with you again next Friday. Shouts out to everybody on the Facebook Live side of things, FBRN.us. I love y'all. I am out. Peace.
Extra, you could read all about it, but let my boy PL tell you about it.
Signing off for
extra
the week.
Point, yeah. Extra point,
Appreciate y'all.
Extra point.
Oh, you love you some JJ. He was just afraid of the king. Now, that's how you walk off on Facebook Live. I love you, Cindy Lou. Be safe out there on the road. And make sure all of y'all have a safe and blessed weekend. Enjoy the football games. I will see y'all at 10 o'clock next week right here on Facebook Live. Peace.